Hey everyone, welcome to Naturally Vincy. Don't forget to like the video, like Naturally Vincy of course, and subscribe to our channel. And we're going to get into the video right now. Mom came back, and mom stayed for maybe about a year, and I didn't know why she came back. All I knew was that my mom was back, and you know, we were back and she was back home, and you know, we had to do all these tests, and then like blood in my urine. I'm like, what? Why am I doing all these tests? And then my mom wants me to go to Catholic school. I'm like, no, it's so boring. I don't want to go to Catholic church. It's like, who wants to go to Catholic church? It's so boring. They're speaking a different language. I can't understand what they're saying. So different. Because she wanted me to go to Catholic school when I came here. I absolutely hated Catholic church because it was so boring. The thing I loved about it though was very short. Like I like that, but it was very like not growing up in it. Like you don't understand what they're saying. You don't like. It's so different from a Pentecostal church. You just don't know the difference. So mom came back, and then they're like, you know, it's time. You're going to meet your mom. Yay! I'm going to meet mom. I'm going to be with my mom. But this time it's not a vacation. This time it's forever. And you're excited because, hey, Canada's kind of cool. You know, Canada's interesting. I've been there on vacation. It seems nice. Like, it's different. Like, you know, it's great. But at the same time, I'm leaving everything that I've known. I'm leaving all my friends. I'm leaving my grandmother. I'm leaving my aunts. I'm leaving my cousins. I'm leaving everything. And I was sad. I was extremely sad. I was happy because I was going to be with my mom, which is what I wanted. I wanted to be with my mom more than anything else. But then I was crying because I was leaving my grandmother, who was like my second mom, who I absolutely loved. So I'm like, why can't Granny come with me? Like, why can't Granny come? Like, why do I have to choose? Why do I always have to choose? You know? Why do I have to choose either my grandmother or my mother? Like, why can't I have both of them with me all the time? So I remember that I was really sad. I was very, very sad. But one thing made my day though. One thing I was actually happy about was that I was leaving at the end of grade 4. At the end of grade 4, I was leaving. So that means in grade 5, as you guys know, you have to set the common entrance exam. So that's like the countrywide exam that you have to set. So I wouldn't have to do that. Do you know how much pressure? Because even like from primary school up until grade 4, I was always, it was always expected that I would come in first. Doesn't matter what class I'm in, it doesn't matter what, I'm to come in first. So I was taking, you know, lessons after school. I was doing all these different things. So the idea, like I remember even in grade 4, I was already having these like the pressure. I was already feeling the pressure of going into grade 5 or junior 5, I think they used to call it, because I'm like, what if I let everybody down? Everybody's expecting me to do so well on the common entrance exam. Everyone is expecting it. What if I let them down? And even in grade 4, I knew, because this is what they've been prepping me for, that I would actually be one of the top, if not the top, person coming out of common entrance. And I was so happy when I left before that happened, because it was almost like this sense of relief that pressure was no longer there. Instead, I actually came up here and I got put back a grade. I learned nothing for a year, and like these kids up here were learning long division, and I already did that like two years before. So I learned nothing for a year. They didn't test me to see what my level was. They didn't do any of that. So everything I was learning, it was like I would get almost like perfect on it, because it's like I've already done this. Yeah. So yeah, like, but I remember really and truly missing, like almost being heartbroken that I was going to be leaving Granny. Yeah, I was basically almost heartbroken when I was leaving her. But at the same time, I was so excited because I was gonna be with my mom. And then I came up here and I still thought we were rich, because I had shoes, I had clothes, I had everything. I like a backpack, like I have everything. What's what did rich people have that I didn't have? Apparently a lot, but for me, I didn't care. I had my mom, I had my aunts, I had food, I had clothes, I had a winter jacket. I was good. And I think I realized maybe, I think 6 months in or something, I told him, I'm like, yeah. I don't know if I asked or something. I'm like, yeah, but aren't we rich? And my mom's like, what? What do you mean, are we rich? No, we're not rich. I'm like, oh, I thought we were. I have everything. so I thought we were rich. So yeah, and I was the kid that I never asked mom for anything because I had everything I needed. And as I got older, I actually didn't want to ask mom for anything because I also, as I got older, I saw how much she was working. You know, I saw how much how much she was working. And when my sister came along, I also saw how much she was working and that she was doing it all on her own. So I wouldn't want to ask, but my mom would always, like, that's the thing about her, is that she always wants to give us as much opportunities as possible, and that's why she works so hard, because she wanted to give us those opportunities. So, you know, there are times when I came home like, yeah, mom, you know, I got on like this OVA, Ontario Volleyball Association team, but I'm not going to go for it because, you know, it's a lot of money. And like, I knew what our situation was. So this is when I was in high school. No, we're going to go for it. But mom, like, you know, like, I don't think so, because, you know, I have to, like, not only you have to pay for the fees, you have to buy the uniform, you have to buy the shoes. No, we're going to do it. All right, we're doing it. Hey mom, you know, I got chosen to go to this leadership camp. You know, but I'm not going to go because, again, the funds. No, we're going to do it. So she would actually work more. She would make these sacrifices for us to be able to afford for me to actually do some of these opportunities. Because with just me it was one thing, but when my sister came along, it was a little bit more difficult for her because she didn't have support. You know, she didn't have that support. But she would be like, no, even if I have to work more, I will do it so that I wouldn't miss out. Keep in mind, in some of these things I didn't want to do it because I was a homebody. I didn't want to do them. I just wanted to stay at home and read. And she's like, no. You know, she made it possible for me to have those opportunities. But she gave up a lot in time, you know, working. And even to this day, she's still doing that. So yeah, the transition coming up, it wasn't like I missed home, but I think we went back home the next year. I got to see Granny again. I adjusted. It was different. Like, my accent was different. It was like, you know, you speak English, but it's not the same, you know? Your writing was fine, but speaking English, like, it was so different. And people are like sort of not making fun, but at the same time, you know, you're saying things differently and they're looking at you, and like you're trying to fit in. So the transition, I think, was quite good. I had great support. You know, I had my aunts here, and in school, I think people recognized that I was good at. I was a good student, but I quickly realized that in St. Vincent, I wasn't the best athlete. Like, I was okay. But coming up here, I was like the best athlete. I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. All right. Back home, you're just like, oh, look, she came in 5th. Up here, she's like, wow, she's so fast. I'm like, look at me. So yeah, I excelled at sports up here. And that's like, I was always shy. So sport was one of the ways that I used to get to know people. And I changed schools a few times. So I came up here, I went into grade 5, and then we changed schools, and I went into grade 6, and then we changed, it's not that I changed, like, no, so we moved. So after grade 5, we moved. And then I went into a school, but in the different part of the city, because it's a different part of the city, where the first place where I lived, elementary went up to grade 5, and then middle school was 6, 7, 8. But when we moved, elementary went up to grade 6, and then middle school was 7, 8. So I moved from a school where grade 5, and I was supposed to go into middle school, but then when we moved, I had to go into grade 6, which was still elementary, so new people in grade 6, and then grade 7 and 8 was somewhere new again. And then, so like there was a lot of movement, and sport was the way that I sort of used to make friends and you know, get to know people. And I was the type of kid, even in high school, that I had friends who were the nerds. I had friends who were the, you know, the jocks, because I was both. So I had friends, you know, some people, like, they had their cliques. I didn't really have any, because I had brains and I had brawn. I had both. Yeah, so am I glad that Mom took the opportunity to come up here? Yes, I am. I'm extremely glad, because it has opened doors for us that might not have been otherwise opened. She made a sacrifice, and not a lot of people are actually willing to do that. You know, not a lot of people are willing to make that sacrifice, because it's hard to leave your child. Like, this is your first child. You know, leave everything that you know. You don't know if you're going to make it in this new place or not. It's very difficult, and I'm so proud of her. Like, Mom is like an amazing, extraordinary woman. The stuff that she's done, some people they wouldn't. Like, there are people who came up here and they just left their kids and never looked back. My mom is not like that. You know what I mean? So I am so proud to be her daughter. I'm so happy that I was chosen to be her daughter, that she was chosen to be my mom, because I think she's extraordinary, you know? The sacrifices that she's made, and like, if I needed anything, if my sister needed anything, my mom would do it, like, do whatever is needed at the drop of a hat, to help us financially, in any other way she would do it, because her goal is always for us to be happy, or her goal is for us to always succeed. So yeah, I'm happy with the decision she made. There's a saying, you know, short-term pain for long-term gain, and I think that's what has happened here. Short-term pain for long-term gain. So, you know, if there's any other kids where, you know, your mom or dad have, you know, left to make a way, because I know that for some parents who have left, when they bring their kids up here, it's a challenge for the parents and the kids, because the kids are so resentful. They're so resentful of their parents. And it could be because they weren't treated the way they should have been treated back home, right? And that happens depending on who you leave them with. So, and did things happen that my mom, you know, wasn't, you know, should not have happened? Probably, but I can't blame my mom for that, because she did the best that she could. She made the decision that she made for us, and you know, I came up here to make the best of it. And that's one of the things when I came up that I said to myself, that I wasn't going to let my mom down. That's one of the reasons why I actually I wanted to make my mom proud. Like, how can she make so many sacrifices for me to turn out less than, if that makes sense, for me to disappoint her? I couldn't. There was no way I could do that. How can she sacrifice so much for me to come and, you know, not do well in school, for me to come and not, to become a teenage pregnancy, etc., etc. How could I do that when she sacrificed so much? I couldn't. I had to make her proud. I had to make sure that the sacrifices that she made, it was worth something, like something came out of that. I had to make sure. because I didn't want her to do those things in vain, you know, to be looking back and be like, well, you know, I did all these things, you know, I worked these many jobs, I was taking care of other people's kids and, you know, crying and doing all of these different things and taking care of old people and doing this. And, you know, my daughter came up and wasted this opportunity. I could not let that happen for all the stuff that she had done. So, yeah, I appreciate the fact that she took that chance. I don't know if I would have in her shoes, but it opened up doors that might not have been open. I don't know, like if I was still back home, where would I be? I don't know. A different path? Better? Worse? Who knows? It doesn't matter. I like the path that, you know, my mom chose this path, and I appreciate the path that she's chosen for us because I think it has made our family better. You know, would I have had a little sister? Maybe I would have had 5. I don't know. But yeah, no, like I'm so happy with the path that she chose. So thank you for watching part 2 of the video. If you haven't already, be sure to check out part 1. As before, be sure to like the video, comment below, and also subscribe so you'll know you know, when our videos are coming out. So comment below letting us know about your experience. Like if you've ever immigrated, what was your experience like immigrating from St. Vincent or from another Caribbean island or anywhere to another place? Because, you know, it's one thing to be around your own, and then all of a sudden you're not, and you're in a different place. So let us know your thoughts. We want to hear them, and we are looking out for them. Thank you.